Let's discuss a very important topic in the weather. Let's talk about New Year's Day, but especially January 2nd. This is a very important date in numerical models, especially in the GFS model, January 1st and 2nd. This is a very important date in numerical models, especially in the GFS model. Very strong are outlined. Strong in GFS model. Let's discuss the wind gusts now. My dear friends, let's start as usual with the geopotential field. And we can see that even before New Year's Eve, Poland will be under the influence of high pressure systems. These high pressures will, of course, be increasingly pushed to the south. Meanwhile, we will be coming under the influence of this wave, which will increasingly encompass Poland, among other places. These high pressures will, of course, be increasingly pushed to the south. We, on the other hand, will be coming under the influence of this wave, which will increasingly encompass Poland. And here, right on the edge of this wave, two low-pressure systems will form, and it will be affecting Poland. And here, right on the edge of this wave, two low-pressure systems will form. The first low will bring us strong wind gusts already on New Year's Eve and on the first day of the holiday. However, these wind gusts won't be that strong. However, a secondary low should form behind it. And this secondary low will definitely be much more dangerous because it will intensify more with stronger wind gusts, and the weather situation there will be quite serious. It will definitely be very dangerous, and we need to take this into serious consideration. Let's see what's happening with that second low. This second low will move very quickly, including right over Poland. Northwest, very low pressure. This will cause a sudden, very rapid increase in wind speed. It will then drift towards the northwest in this way, and this will be the moment when the situation regarding wind gusts in Poland will be the most difficult, so it will be on Saturday. On Saturday, the wind is expected to be the strongest from the morning hours until noon. Let's check the temperatures at 850 HPA, because this is also a very important matter. I'm switching to the temperatures right now, so let's see how that will look. I meant the second one. Sorry, what am I saying? The 8th. We can see the flow of cool air masses from the north. This flow is quite well defined. It's also worth keeping an eye on this area here where we have really low temperatures. And here, thanks to the high pressure located directly over the Atlantic Ocean and the low pressure over the Baltic Sea, there will be a chance for cool air to flow down more strongly, among other things, over Poland. And this will also cause a greater frost, which may appear after the 7th. But we'll see. For now, we're focusing primarily on these low temperatures that will be coming down. These low temperatures, due to this high pressure, will be flowing down, among other things, to Poland. On the other hand, we will have a warmer air mass reaching, for example, southeastern Poland and our southeastern neighbors. So it's a standard situation where we first have a warm front or a stationary front or possibly a cold front on the other side, and this cold front will bring us some chaos related to precipitation, but above all, we're still focusing on the wind. Why am I not talking about precipitation too much? Because it's still a long way off for precipitation and it could change several times. As for the wind gusts, it seems stable. The numerical model suggests this second low pressure will bring strong gusts to NW Poland. Of course, the numerical models are juggling these wind gusts, but for now, everything indicates that this second low pressure, the secondary low, will also bring the strongest wind gusts to northwestern Poland. This will be a dangerous situation. Of course, our wind gusts will be weaker than those of our western neighbors, whether in the English Channel or the British Isles, but it can still exceed 100 km per hour. So we can at least say in these calculations that it could be a storm. But we still need to wait a little bit for that. However, it definitely looks very suspicious and it's worth paying attention to. So why is it still worth waiting? Let's check. My dear friends, this is really nice. This time from the Windy app once again, using the GFS model. And it's worth checking the satellite at this point, that is during the night from Friday to Saturday, to see this area here. We need to keep an eye on this area because this is where the low will be forming. This low will then be pulled along by the jet stream, among other things, over the British Isles, the Netherlands, Germany, and Poland. So we need to pay attention to this At the moment, it's not here yet, but it should appear in this area tomorrow and start its journey towards Europe. Meanwhile, we are coming back here to Europe itself. Why am I talking about it here as well? Look, it's already visible here on Saturday and Sunday. This is the low, and it's starting its journey towards Europe with very strong wind gusts. On the night from the 2nd to the 3rd and the 3rd, I'm choosing the color black. And let's check how this low might move on the 2nd and 3rd. And the 3rd, let's check roughly how this might look. What I used to do, liked it because it's a good comparison. Here we have 1.01, January 1st in the morning hours. Then this low moves very quickly, and that's it. On the 2nd, we'll be over the North Sea with a pressure of 967 HP. 201, so we have just a completely normal movement. However, later on, this would bring us very strong wind gusts during the night from the 2nd to the 3rd and the 3rd, driving over the Baltic Sea. 977 HPA, and now we have the 3rd, the 1st, and we have the movement in this way. Then, of course, after this dive, this low should quickly move north with a pressure of 978 HPA, and it's precisely this area, this moment of diving, that will bring us the most dangerous weather, the strongest wind gusts. Well, since we have that, let's check how the second model looked. I'll add that this was the ECMWF model. Let's check the GFS model. And here, look, the situation with the GFS model looks a bit different, even a bit more intense, because of course these two lows are very clearly visible. However, we see a faster movement of this low, as you saw in the earlier maps, so we have 1:1. During the night, this second low would deepen significantly more and would have already reached the Baltic Sea region. So here we have the second low pressure system, 0,1. So the movement of these low pressure systems is quite spread out, but then we see the movement further northwards, and already on the 3rd, it was already far, far, far to the north, already somewhere around here. We have one more model that is worth looking at for the moment, ICON. Let's see how the ICON model sees this. And the ICON model is closer to the GFS model, and that's very important information for us. It's very important information because it actually legitimizes the GFS model in this case, although of course this could still change. Let's check 985 HPA, and again we have 1.01, 5 HPA, and again we have the first 0,1. Let's move on. What do we see here? Then the second low is following the exact path of the GFS model as predicted by the weather forecasting system. So here we also have the second 0,1 and further north. This could tell us roughly that it's becoming more and more likely. Of course, there's still a bit of time left for that, but it's becoming more and more likely. Let's also check the wind strength, which is also worth looking at. It gives us a bit of insight into the situation that might occur, and we choose from the 1st to the 3rd and check the Polish one. We can see here that the strongest wind gusts. In this area, the winds would be roughly like this, and we have the ICON model, which shows that the strongest winds would obviously be over the North Sea, particularly in northwestern Poland along the coast, and also in the Warmian-Masurian voivodeship, Elbląg. However, the ECMWF model shows a different situation because it sees a different path of the low-pressure system. In the case of the ECMWF model, we primarily see extremely strong wind gusts over the British Isles, where we would particularly experience a very strong storm. However, regarding Poland, there would be strong gusts, but they would be weaker. Now let's check how the GFS model sees it. And here we have, dot for dot, what the ICON model sees. So the two models, the long-term model and the short-term model, are starting to dangerously confirm each other. And that could suggest that we are facing quite dangerous weather ahead.